time. Do you wanna have some?
Welcome to the 2019 2 Days in May 8th here at the Blockhouse Disc Golf and Country Club. We're in Spotsylvania, Virginia. The rest of the PDGA National Tour and Disc Golf Pro Tour events are in full swing right now out west. And we are blessed to have Paul and Hannah, who have recently moved to Virginia, here competing in our tournament this weekend. Having the highest rated player in the world to play these tight wooded courses is going to be exciting. And we have Andrew Fish and Chris Dickerson, who had an epic battle to crown last year's champion. Andrew Fish has back-to-back titles and looks to make this year's event a three-peat. We'll have to see how Paul McBeth can handle some of these incredible local golfers and see how he handles the courses.
Yeah, I think him coming out blind is about the only way anybody has a chance of beating Paul McBeth right now, the way he's been playing.
Yeah. We have Doug Marinovich and Conrad Pawlosky. Both these guys are really good wooded local pros that have been playing this event for years, as well as our fourth competitor here.
Walter Winnington with a wonderful, wonderful disc golf name there.
He does have a good disc golf name. So we'll see what these guys can do. It should be very interesting. Hole number 3 is a brand new addition to the Sunnyside. It is 495 feet, and really the tee shot is the most important part. Just get it in the middle somewhere with an open approach shot.
All right, here we have Paul. Just sizing up this hole right here. Paul's looking fashionable in his pink shorts this weekend.
Released that extremely nice, and he hit the heart of the fairway. You can't ask for much more than that. And Doug giving her a rip, and that looks really good too. Doug's got some sneaky power, and it looks like he got his up there even further than where Paul's landed.
Yeah, these guys are making this fairway look huge.
Conrad giving it a bit of an Anheuser as he lays into that disc, and he got up there. Oh, wow. Good skip.
Walt here looks like he sawed that off a little bit on the inside, and he's going to have a tough shot here for his second one.
Yeah, put a good shape on that shot and left himself right in the middle. He should be able to get up and down for his par.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I feel like this is one of the holes that you could just take a mid-range or a fairway driver and kind of put yourself in position to get the easy birdie. If you're playing the hole smart, obviously if you're Paul and Doug, you're way up there with just a little putter up to the basket.
Oh yeah,
so we'll see where these guys ended up.
Yeah, they're not thinking about pars. They're thinking about birdies and even eagles here. Paul gives it a good look. They'll kick off the tree. It's parked right underneath the basket.
And then here's Doug, who outdrove Paul to start the round of golf. I'm sure that was a good feeling.
Anytime you can outdrive him is probably a great feeling.
Yeah, I've been playing with Walt and Doug and Conrad for quite some time, and I'm sure that having the cameras and playing with the highest rated player in the world is no easy feat stepping in.
Oh, definitely not. As if the course wasn't going to be hard enough for you as it is.
This is one of those tournaments that the nerves start reacting as you step up to the first tee box. It's a long weekend. You want to go out here. You want to play well. And yeah, so hole number 4 is one of the shorter holes on the course. Really, it's a touch flick shot. You just want to give yourself something that's going to be close putting. This is one of the holes you don't want to miss.
Here's Paul. Looks like he has a zone in his hand. It looks a little inside. Gets a kick to the middle of the fairway. He'll be able to get up and down from there pretty easily.
He's going to be disappointed with that, though. And Doug just showing you exactly how to do it. He's played this hole enough that, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to throw a thumber right under the basket.
Yeah, it doesn't get much closer than that.
And Conrad, a little bit inside. He did hit something, and he's going to have a longer look.
Here's Walt with a forehand. Turned it a little bit. And he's deep. And that looks like that's not going to be an easy putt for him back there.
Let's see if Conrad can convert here. You've got those trees to stop anything, so you can be aggressive. And what a great putt by Conrad. Good way to start.
Yeah. Get those first hole jitters out of the way on the second hole. Make that long birdie putt right in front of Paul McBeth, and it's got to feel good. Those Mach 5 chains are mocking him.
It's a little left. You can see by the slow motion coverage here that it was pretty center. It looked pretty good.
Yes, it did. And Walt's here in jail, making the putt.
Great putt by Walt.
Wow.
Most of the basket locations on these courses, both courses, the Sunnyside and the Dark Side, we're playing the Sunnyside here in the first, the part one of our coverage. But the basket locations are tough. As you step up to hole number 5, this is one of the harder holes because your tee shot is extremely important. You want to be on the left side of the fairway to give yourself a nice look up to this basket. Anything on the right side can be trouble. Doug lining up a forehand, and it sounded like he hit something pretty close off the tee there. He's gonna
hit it hard too.
Yeah. Here's Conrad coming back to the thumber again, and that is gonna shape nicely for him. And he's gonna be in the middle of the fairway, but he did not get as far as he wanted.
No, definitely not. But in the fairway is good here. Walt got a good pull on that. That's a lot of positive footage there. That's a good thing to have. But it looks like he'll be in jail. He's happy with it, at least.
This feels like one of the longest 420-foot holes that you play out here on these courses just because of the shape of this fairway.
Wow. Well, that looked pretty good to me, but it doesn't seem like Paul's too happy with it.
I think he got it a little bit up in the air. Had he gotten that a little bit lower and gotten that disc a chance to fly a little faster, he probably could have got a better result. Conrad doesn't want to stop throwing thumbers at this point. Oh, no, he's throwing a flick.
Tricked ya.
Yep. Decent shot. He's going to struggle for his birdie on this one, but he's in a good position to get his par. And here's Doug. Not what he wanted either.
Walt seems to navigate his way out of the woods there. Hey, giving himself a putt too. And the way he putted on the last hole, I think that's a pretty good shot right there for him. Paul stretched down a little bit here. Routine.
If you're going to miss your drive, that's where you want to miss it because he did give himself a look at the basket. And Doug throwing his third shot right up underneath there, so he will tap in for his par. See if Conrad can continue with the good putting. Oh, just a little high.
I think I see Walt back there in the woods. Dead center basket. That
Beautiful
was beautiful.
putt. Yeah. We'll watch the rest of these guys clean up a little bit. And Conrad has a short putt. There's about 3 pin locations on every one of these holes, and this hole has one that's a little bit lower. It's a little bit tougher to get to, but they're going to keep the basket in this location for the entire tournament. So it kind of gives us a chance as competitors to know what shots we want to make adjustments on. Hole number 6 is a tough par 3. You've really got to throw something either over the top of the woods that are on the right-hand side and or get something early to come in. But the shape of this hole, again, it's a tricky shape. It's tough to get into that green area off the tee box.
Walt going with the forehand again. Just a little inside, and that does not look good. Here's Paul. Looks like he's throwing some sort of putter. That's doesn't get much better than that, really.
Well, let's see what Doug can do here. He gets it out wide enough and comes down right in the middle. The middle is where you want to miss if you're going to miss on this hole. And Conrad really forcing something over to the right. And he hit too. So even though Doug is the furthest away from the basket, I would bet that he's going to have the better of the lies between Walt and Conrad.
Yeah, that's no lie. Walt getting a little tricky there. Throwing a forehand roller.
What execution.
You play enough woods courses, you learn how to get there.
And that was the problem with where Conrad ended up on his drive is, it is not easy to get up and down. All right, those guys are right next to the basket. Let's see if Paul can convert.
Right in the heart of the basket.
Yeah, so after missing hole 4, Paul basically has birdied everything so far.
And Conrad cleaning up there.
Super focused.
Oh yeah,
You can see it in his eyes right now that he's on track. As we move to hole number 7 is a new pin location this year. They've pushed it back past where the old pin was. Used to play as a par 3, now a par 4. Only sitting at 416 feet though, so it's gettable.
Yeah, it's 416 heavily wooded feet. This Paul looks like he's throwing his buzz.
Yeah.
That was a great drive. He's going to have a long eagle putt from there. Walt keeping it low. Good turn.
I told you I was throwing that.
And he threw it at him.
I was trying to take out Austin there. And we got Doug here. Doug's throwing a turnover shot that looks like it's on a good line. He shouldn't have any trouble getting up and down from where he is. Here's Conrad just ripping one out there. Unfortunately, he did get caught up in the woods there, and then look at what he has now. Throwing another flick roller and just trying to get it down there so he can have a putt.
Walt with a long eagle look. Put himself in the circle.
There's Doug giving it a go. Just a great upshot.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Somehow that managed to stay down there in that basket. And that was a great eagle by Paul McBeth.
That was incredible. Paul has made up for the one par that he has made and now is perfect through the first 5 holes of the tournament.
Should we expect anything less from him?
Just snuck into the left side of that cage. Conrad, who's been putting well, kind of tricky with that tree in his way. He is there for his par. Walt missing a short putt for his birdie. That's going to be a shame. And Doug is able to tap in there. So these guys are going to clean up, and I'm interested to see in the aftermath how people felt about the changes to the course, because there were quite a few, including hole number 8, which the basket used to sit just on the other side of this holly tree right here, and they pushed it back and across the stream over to the right-hand side. Just makes accessibility a little bit more difficult to this basket.
This is another one of those holes that the footage just doesn't quite do it justice. You know, it's a 272-foot hole that probably plays a lot longer than that.
Oh, yeah. Again, it's just the shape of some of these shots that are difficult.
Yeah, Paul got himself down in that skunk cabbage and that swampy stuff, but looks like he's going to be putting just fine
Yeah,
from
he's
there.
right there. And Doug trying to turn over that same disc that he threw on the last hole, and boy, that would be parked in the old pin position, but now he's got about a 60-foot putt left.
Walt taking a little tight on the inside.
Not good. And Conrad getting one to turn over for him. It looks like he hit something early, possibly up into the campgrounds that surround this hole.
Here's Walt going overhand with a Tommy, trying to shape that thing in there.
Looked pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't quite see it finish, but
And what did I say? Conrad was probably in someone's campground. That is not out of bounds. And he put himself pretty far up there. That was a good shot. He's going to at least have a putt for his par. Doug left that right out of his hand the whole way.
here's Paul inside the circle with about an 18-footer. Dead center chains.
I guess those Lunas feel comfortable, huh?
Yeah, it seems like after the first couple events this year, he kind of got his bearings with them, and now he's just automatic.
And that's unfortunate. I didn't expect to see Conrad miss that. He's been putting like an animal.
There's Walt cleaning up his 3 after his unfortunate drive.
And Doug with probably the best drive out of the group as far as the way you wanted your shot to be shaped. He just didn't give it quite enough to get there. But walk away with a par. So Paul with the only birdie on that hole as we move into hole number 9. This is the Corral hole. Really tricky landing area. If you're just outside of these fences, it can be tough. But this is one of those ace run holes that is so fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Looks like Paul's throwing his Luna off the tee box here.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a little tricky for him. I wouldn't bet against him, though.
And Doug giving her a good rip. It's just, come on. Oh. And see what happens is you skip outside of that corral, and now all of a sudden you got a tricky putt.
Walt taking a lower, more direct line at it. He's going to be close to the edge of the corral there.
Yeah. Somebody's got to get it close.
I got faith in Conrad.
Yeah, Conrad looks like he's throwing an old Grange stamped rock, and boy, he just left that thing right out of his hand. That's going to be tough. That's not going to be an easy putt. And almost just stay inside of that corral.
Here's Paul. Just has to get it just over this fence, and
Oh, yeah.
almost seems too easy for him sometimes.
Yeah, what you don't see is that he was pinned right up against that tree as well. But, yeah, that just was textbook for him.
Yeah. I don't think the trees are there for him.
Mm-mm. Let's see what Doug does here. He tried to turbo it, but unfortunately did not get it high enough and hit the basket.
Yeah, a little front rim banger there.
Yeah. So moving on to hole number 10, one of the more iconic holes on the Sunnyside. You certainly have a big enough gap to get out there. It is the putting green that is tough.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially with all these nicely groomed bushes and everything like that. You can be 10 feet from the pin and have no look at all.
Oh, yeah. This is the Dr. Seuss hole, is what we like to call it.
Paul gives his force a good rip out there.
And let's hope he has a look. Your mere mortals are going to be quite a bit shorter than where Paul just went.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's about where I would be over there where Walt just sent it.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get up to that high grass area in the fairway there, pretty routine up and down. But it is a par 3. So it is not, this is not the easiest par 3 on the course. And they're asking for it to come down, and it does. Oh, no. Conrad is not going to be happy with that. This is one of those holes that it is daunting as you step up to the tee because you know you should hit that gap. But unfortunately, it doesn't always happen. And Doug hopefully doesn't find himself behind that platform up there.
That was a great second shot there by Conrad.
Yeah, he might have a nice little look at that basket. I don't think he's going to be blocked.
And here's Walt. Didn't quite put enough turn on it. And
That's going to be tricky.
it's like we were saying, you could be inside the circle and have absolutely no look at the basket.
Doug fortunate that he has the hyzer line coming into it, but again, that platform is right where his arm is releasing, and he just left it a little bit right.
I think there's a basket back there somewhere.
Paul for his birdie chance.
Got Walt here, putting over the bush. Great putt.
Yeah, really good putt out of Walt. When you walk away with a par on this hole, you certainly feel like you did what you needed to. I think getting the birdie here is very elusive.
Oh, yeah, there's not going to be many twos on this hole.
Yeah, last year we saw Andrew Fish and Chris Dickerson play this hole to finish, and they both two'd this hole to go into a playoff last year, which was just incredible to watch. So as these guys clean up and move on, we did start on hole 3, so this is going to be the final hole of part 1 coverage for us, and it's hole number 11. Hole number 11 is a fantastic hole. It does have a rise here in the middle of the fairway and then starts to go downhill towards the basket. If you can get it just over this rise, you have a chance of getting something down close to the basket. We'll see how far Paul can throw this. I would assume that he's going to get close enough for a putt.
Oh, yeah. With it being 550 feet and I'll say a large gap. It's not much of a gap, but it's a large gap for here.
Sure.
And, yeah, let's see what a big move on this. It looks like he's throwing his force again. Yeah, he put quite a move. Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's such a good shot.
Here's Walt with his mere pedestrian perfect drive down the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, 350.
Yeah,
and he's happy.
That's a gorgeous drive.
It really is. I mean, over the years we've had like your Chris Dickerson, your James Conrad, the guys who typically play this event have had twos on this hole, and but I mean it is an all-out, just a rip. You've got to give it everything you've got to get to that basket. Let's see what Doug can do. He left it left. Hopefully it can sneak under that. That's really the problem with this hole, is you don't want to be in the woods on the left, and Doug's going to have to play a flick roller here to try to get himself close. But then you go from rough to rough, and now he's going to be sitting in the woods on the other side, just desperately trying to get back to this basket. Conrad with a overstable mid, playing the slope the right way, and just a great shot.
It's about all you can really do from there other than throw it in.
Yeah, you see a lot of rollaways in this basket location. It's not that steep, but it's subtle enough that you definitely get the action going down the hill.
And it's pretty dry there, so that grass is very, very quick, and you roll down into this type of stuff and you see exactly what you get. And that was a great out from where he was.
It was really tough. He left himself reasonably short, but we'll see if he can't convert on that putt.
Here's Paul for his eagle attempts.
No problem. He's not human.
No, he isn't. That was a beautiful putt.
I mean, there's a reason he's the highest rated player in the world. It's because he does this on such a regular basis. I'd be talking about that for 5 years. Oh, no. And this is exactly what we were just talking about. Is it so easy? Doug did not need that. This is going to equate, if he doesn't make this, it's going to equate to a big number on this hole.
On a relatively easy, to par 4.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have an eagle, 2 birdies, and then Doug is going to take a 6, unfortunately, on this hole. But, I mean, the storyline is Paul is perfect through 9 holes on a course that he has never played a competitive round at, which is just, that's such an impossibility.
Yeah. Like we said, that's about the only chance anybody has, but unfortunately, Paul McBeth is Paul McBeth and has just as many pars as he has eagles on this first 9 holes.
Right. So we're going to come back at you with part number 2, and you're going to have to hold on to your trousers while we wait and see whether or not Paul can throw up another perfect 18 down. We want to say thank you, obviously, to the Tea Time crew, to Mike Trapasso and the family down at the Blockhouse Disc Golf and Country Club. What an amazing place to come and play golf, and it is nothing short of an experience.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hallowed ground down there, and it's a great event, and everybody's excited for it every single year, and we've been seeing some exciting golf so far.
Yeah, so. It's been year after year. It gets more and more exciting as the level of competition raises, and we are blessed to have Paul down here this weekend to,
especially
from what it looks like, show us how to play these courses.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we will see you in part 2.